Hey everyone, welcome back to a very long battle. It's very cool though. So we have a 2v2. I'm playing the Beastmen, so is Havoc. We're fighting two Imperial players, so that feels like a very roleplay type of fight to begin with. Over here, let's go over what they have. First off, these two Empire players brought in just enough artillery to make us worry. The Sunmaker is very good at taking out cheap units. Poor accuracy, but it has an AoE, area of effect attack that can do, again, a lot of damage. 72 ammunition. We can actually go look at how many they fire out with each one. 3, 6, 9. 9 per. That is a lot of firepower going out. If we were orcs, we would call it Daka. Now, let's keep on looking. A range of 480. Missile damage of 798. It's not armor piercing, but that is why it can take out cheap units. Over here, he brought in a light wizard, only bringing in that one spell, the Net of Amuntok, which is not a bad call. And he brought in, over here, if we keep on looking, another light wizard for the other player, and a flying general of the Empire. These are all very effective for the two Empire players. They're wanting to pin us down so they can shoot us to death. And let's go for a cinematic view real quick. I'm moving into the woods, and I'll go over my army in just a moment. I end up losing quite a few. I'm trying to get into the woods because I want to keep myself alive. Let's keep on looking right now at what they have. They have two groups of normal demigryph knights that have halberds, which means they have anti-large and armor piercing by default. Over here, we're looking at the Royal Altdorf Griffites, which are a regiment of renown, a much tougher form of demigryph knights. Volkmar the Grim is here. He's very effective in battle, can really tear up some cheap infantry units. A weapon strength of only 245, a charge bonus of 50. But if we go look at what he has, right over here. Well, first off, let's go look at that Jade Griffin that he has. He's able to replenish how much damage? Near 4,000 HP. We do have Soul Eater, which thankfully can increase their miscast chance, especially if they try to overcast. Grand Shield of Faith. We're looking at Banishment, which is free for them. And it is unbreakable. He's unable to break, which is also very powerful. So not only is he mobile, he's just able to do whatever he wants. Over here on the right flank, we have 4 groups of Harpies, 2 for each of us. 2 groups for each of us. And let's go back over here again. Many crossbowmen who, again, can take out unarmored soldiers. I mean, they clearly knew how to build to fight us. Here's a few flagellants who are over here. They're unbreakable, as you probably well know. A lot of cheap units. I mean, if we can actually get to them, we can do the damage that we need to. But until then, they can do a lot to us. I personally think they probably should have brought in a little bit more range, and they could have dictated the fight a little bit better, maybe trying to ward us against the woods over here. My plan was to move into the woods and to use that to my advantage. So that's really the gist of what they have. Let's go over what we have. So you know about the Harpies. Over here, Havoc brought in a Gore Herd. 2 Gore Herds are right there. We're looking at a lot of Ungor Raiders, which are very inaccurate, but it doesn't really matter. They're just kind of there to skirt our forces and provide a bit of support. If you look at it, he actually brought in quite a few Ungor Raiders. We have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups total. I had no idea that he brought that many. That's crazy. Over here, we're looking at Ungor Spearmen. So a bunch of cheap units. He also brought in the Eye of Morslieb, which is a regiment of renown. It has armor piercing, but a cool ability, too. Let's go look over here and try to get at it. I'm trying to, actually, I'll go to mine. Here's mine over here. I'm trying to hit them right now. Look at that. They're still trying to hit me. So we have Warp Gaze, which is a very cool ability. It'll prevent anyone from being able to move for 16 seconds. So I don't have a Net of Amuntok, but that is very powerful too. Soul Eater, again, is very good for taking on spellcasters. I mean, he's just really meant for it. Magic resistance of 25%, 13 kills so far, a melee attack of 56, and magical attacks. Over here, we have 22 rocks left. I don't know where he pulls them from. Maybe they're magical, I don't know. So right now, I'm just trying to whittle them down. I knew that we just had to wait out all of that artillery. So right now, we have the Royal Altdorf Griffites moving in. I only brought in a basic Beast Lord. I believe Havoc brought in Morker. And all of his archers are now hitting them. I don't know if he was aware of it or what. Actually, no. We used a Warp Gaze. I used my Warp Gaze so that we could weaken them. That's what happened there. So it's not that he forgot, he just couldn't move. Now he's moving into the woods where he'll be a bit slower. I do wish we could actually see that penalty while they're in the woods. They're still going after my Beast Lord. So over here, I brought in Destroyers of the Drakewald, Ungor Spearmen. And if we go look at them right now, they have anti-large poison attacks, which are so darn good. Those can just weaken your foes just the right amount. And I brought in my Centaurs too. Over here, we're looking at my Minotaurs, the Butchers of Kalkengard. They can cause terror, armor piercing, and they are shielded. Over here, we're looking at Korok's Man Rippers, a Bestigor herd. So I brought in a lot of regiments of renown. I did move them back. They're actually facing the wrong way. They are armored, have armor piercing, and they have anti-large abilities and the ability Primal Fury. Let's keep on looking right now. More Centaurs for all of us. I brought in Blackhorn's Ravagers, Gore herd with shields. They have, well, just better stats. They're pretty good. And if we look over here, we have Rowdy and Primal Fury again. Rowdy giving us more leadership, and we don't have to deal with Vigor at all. They're pretty cool looking. They have glowing weapons. There's another Bestigor herd. So I brought in more expensive infantry, whereas Havoc brought in a lot of expendable infantry. Back here, I have the Sons of Goros. More Centaurs that have great weapons. They're very fast. They have armor piercing. And back here is Morkur. So let's go look at the fight again that's happening. Since we've been busy, I've been trying to go after the Griffites, and so has Havoc. I wanted to try to kill them. So a weird thing happened here. A few of them were left behind, like there, and the bulk of them got away. So unfortunately, while the banner is shown here where we were actually attacking them, they were able to get away. I would like to think that 2 of them actually stayed behind. 2 Griffites just said, hey, look, we can't all get out of here. Let the majority get away. I didn't want to try to chase them anymore because of that, because I also knew that that artillery could do a lot of damage. I mean, there's some mortar shells going down at us right now into the woods. Still hitting our units, but we still have a better chance at living because we are in the woods. We can either stay hidden or it might hit a tree, which is really optimal. So in the very beginning, we're just trying to move up forward. We've killed a few of their units over here, not a lot of them, but any damage we can do is better than doing no damage at all. I've killed a lot of their crossbowmen. I knew that we had to get rid of some of their ranged units. They had to go away. Up here, we still have more spearmen. The flagellants are still doing their thing. I'm just hitting whatever I can. I know that we try a few strikes against the steam tank, but that is one singular target, so it is very hard to hit. Let's keep on looking now. I told you, it's a pretty wild battle. Let's keep on looking now. So we're just kind of waiting, but we are beginning to move up. I know there was one point where Havoc grouped up his units. They were all bunched up, and I was like, no, you can't do that, man. I just told him that we had to be patient. We just had to use our ranged attacks however we could, letting them expend everything they had. I mean, if we look back here, they still have a lot of shots left. A lot of shots left for that Sunmaker. Right now, I have 55 kills, which is not a lot. I mean, it's really not a lot. But again, that's my way of whittling them down. He is very tired already. And I knew that I could use him in melee combat, and I could use my Warp Gaze, so that's why I didn't mind losing my ammo. Plus, if we went right into combat, I wouldn't be able to easily get my kills in. So again, that's what I wanted to do. Alright, we're going to fast forward for right now. Again, we're just kind of skirting around. I'm moving up a little bit, trying to lure them to us. That steam tank is getting a lot of kills, breaking down those gore herds. Here come more Demigryph Knights. Oh, we kind of hit him a little bit. Yeah, we're trying to damage them as they charge forward, and here comes the Royal Griffites. They're trying to go after our eyes of Morslieb. Morslieb being the moon. Can't see it. It's unfortunate. Now they're coming to me. The Ungor Raiders are going to begin attacking. There's a Warp Gaze probably used by Havoc. I also used one. We wanted to wait for those Griffites to come up. We were trying to lure them. So again, I mean, as you can tell, we are skirting around. We're having to play in a tactical way. Just charging in is not always the best option. Sometimes you want to play tactically, and you want to use terrain to your advantage. I mean, that is part of Total War, not just going in. Here they come right now. Steam tank is hitting me. Here comes Volkmar, which was actually fairly scary. I did not want to fight Volkmar. But we had enough units that could move so quickly in and out the woods to where we could just go in and out to help out our eyes of Morslieb. And there's a banishment. He brought out his Centaurs to do more damage to those Griffites, who were still living somehow. I don't know how, but they were still living. And you'll see our plan later on. It's going to be pretty cool. Okay. Check it out. The Royal Altdorf Griffites have only 8 left. Your hidden units are revealed. Okay, look at that. That's right over here. Here comes the General of the Empire, also now going after my Beast Lord. Unfortunately, my Beast Lord's not going to be able to beat what they have. I think I used my potion right then and there, or I still have one to replenish and to buff me up for a period of time. 72 kills from my Eye of Morslieb. They're still trying to skirt around. We didn't do as much damage as we had hoped. I mean, they are heavily armored at 125, and we do not have armor piercing with our Ungor Raiders. If you look at it right now, these are the Royal Altdorf Griffites who are finally running away. They're only broken, though, and not yet dead. A few shots whittles down their health a little bit more. We still have more of their Demigryphs now moving up to go fight my Beast Lord, who's got to get out of there. I'm sure he's considered a large unit, which means that he could just die here. So here they come right now. I managed to wait in the woods. I have my spears. I'm able to whittle them down. There's another Warp Gaze, which we keep using over and over and over. That was our goal, to actually do that. And I'm letting my Eye take a few more shots. I only have 6 more stones left to throw at them. We damaged a few of their groups. I mean, they were also hidden in the woods, so they were not easy to hit. Here comes the General of the Empire right now. We're all attacking into the lines. Havoc has a inclination for allowing friendly fire, so I told him, like, no, don't let it happen this time. Let's just kind of be more careful with that. So I think he does begin to fire, but then I have him kind of like call it off. I'm not too sure. He might still be firing. Yeah, with a few of them, which isn't too bad for right here and right now. Again, a lot of cheap units, but even though we have the advantage in the woods when it comes to movement, arrows still get blocked by trees. So I'm moving up now. They keep on using those blasted nets of Ammentag to keep us back. And unfortunately, these Demigryph Knights are still alive. If we go look at it right now, I'm changing up my target. There are 3 shots over there, which is not too bad. That steam tank is still hitting me right now. You can see that once we actually get to the actual battle, which is going to happen in a few minutes, it gets rather deadly. It gets rather bloody. And quickly. Steam tank, 61 kills. Not a bad amount. I do not like steam tanks at all. Steam tanks do not synergize well. I think I called it a stink tank. That was probably subconscious. Only because they do not really offer anything. They are powerful on their own, but I mean, look at my Eye of Morslieb. It offers abilities to help out my entire army, which is good. Maybe if it had like a encouraging aura, I mean, I would feel pretty encouraged if I had a steam tank. Just anything that would help it out. Maybe some abilities, I don't know. It just needs a little bit more, like a charge or something. So right now, I'm moving into the woods. I mean, that happened so quickly. I'm just moving straight into the woods. I'm trying to move there as quickly as I can. They've got some of their crossbows. Oh, and there goes the Sunmaker. So I did what I should never be doing, which is gripping up my stuff. My goal was to get into the woods as quickly as I could. I was going to take some damage, but I didn't really care at that point. I just wanted to get into the woods to be protected again and to be able to whittle. I mean, look, it's one thing to protect all that they have, but it's not a good idea, and I'm going to tell you why. What if I'm attacking only one part of your wall? You've built a great wall, but what if I hit only one part of your wall? And look at all the shots now being blocked by the trees. That saved a lot of my units who are still reforming. So I'm gonna hit one part. We have our harpies beginning to move over here. I think I tried to move mine over to my side, but Havoc moves over here. Oh, we actually have 5. I thought we had only 2 per, but no. 3 for him, 2 for me. I'm moving mine on over. Havoc is now moving in. Here comes my Eye. Out of ammo, 96 kills, which is not too bad. It took a good chunk of damage. And right now I'm getting into formation. We're getting ready to fight. And we're going to focus on one part of the wall. If you've seen me play the Beastmen, you know that I do this quite a bit. If there are trees, I like to use my trees. Now we're charging in. Here comes our big attack, which I think is very cinematic and very cool looking. Just watching them come out from the trees, and now they're just going straight for it. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to turn off hide foliage. There we go. It looks so much better now. So we're going after everything. Is that another net? It is. Another net of Ammentag keeping us back. Keeping us from being able to move at all, but here comes all of my infantry going after their infantry in the woods. Let's go. Hold on, there's one more charge to watch. Harpies are now moving in. If we go look at it, Havoc is over here having to deal with the General of the Empire, but he's far from his line, which means that we can tear up his main line. I'm now moving in, trying to go after any crossbowmen that I can immediately. I knew that I had to block them. I had to beat them, kill them. do whatever I could. So our armies are pretty beat up. Here's another free banishment by Volkmar. Volkmar just kind of rushes in with his juggernaut of a vehicle, doing so much damage. And if only they were like mechanical horses, that would be intense. So over here, again, Harpy's still just trying to hit whatever. I don't know why. Oh, right. They probably got clipped a little bit. But we're still just trying to mix up all the crossbows. They're having a hard time trying to get around. You can see Havoc just moving all over. He's got Centaurs coming over here to fight too. I'm over here focusing on one part of their line, destroying them. Not to mention I have a unit that can cause terror and fear. So these guys are just in for a really bad ride. They're just not going to get ahead. And if we look over here, Volkmar the Grim, 17 kills. 120 for the Spearman. General of the Empire, 35 kills. We have more and more infantry moving in. Korok's Man Rippers have only 8 kills, but they're so strong that they're just going to be able to do a lot here now that we're entangled in their forces. So let's go ahead and get a cinematic view real quick. There's so much going on. Now, if we look at it in more detail, I have my Beast Lord helping out, 47 kills, finally doing a lot of damage now that he's not being focused on. I'm using a call of leadership for more leadership to keep anyone from breaking. The Eye of Morsleep has over 100 kills still. I've got my units just breaking through all of their spearmen and flagellants who cannot beat us. Havoc moved in. With his sheer numbers, he's being able to do so much damage. Not to mention, he's got Ungor Raiders trying to target whoever. The Harpies are able to stay in the battle, and now they're fighting. The net of Amentok kept me from being able to move a lot. And here comes those Centaurs again, coming in from right behind them. Over here, we have that light wizard just kind of flying around, and after you're out of nets, I mean, what can you do? That Sunmaker, 154 kills, but after that, you can do nothing for them. So right now, that was a great charge by Havoc. He went right after the crossbows, and I bring in my sons of Goros, who already have over 60 kills, and now they're going after more of their exposed archers. So we have run all over this faction. Unfortunately, we still have a bit to go before we win. We're fighting a few flagellants over here. They're just being cut down. They thought they had the advantage. They had their Imperial regalia. They felt quite mighty. They were unified. They were organized, but they could not do enough. And here's another net of Amentok keeping us back. And that steam tank, of course, just kind of dancing around over there. We were able to hit them at so many points. First off, we broke one weak point. Then we were able to hit them everywhere after that. I brought in all of the elites. Havoc brought in the numbers, and together we were able to have the numbers and have the strength to beat our enemies, who also brought in a lot of numbers, but we beat their quality. That was the whole point. So you bring in a lot of cheap stuff to fill up your ranks, to placate and hold the enemy back, but then you actually need things that can change the tide. So in that case, it would be like the Sunmaker, it would be Volkmar, it would be the Demigryph Knights. They brought in a lot of anti-large, but they didn't use them effectively. They were trying to go after our eyes. The mortars weren't a bad idea. Cannons would have been even better, though. Should we look at it right now? And again, that's why I hate steam tanks. I mean, that steam tank is where? Just somewhere out over here. I don't know if it's gone. I don't believe it is. Oh, no, it's right here. A lot of kills, right? But it doesn't matter. We've already beaten their army. That army is done for. Volkmar's still riding around. He's really tough to catch, very tough to catch. We've destroyed everyone else. I mean, you can see the sheer amount of bodies here. Now we're gonna fast forward just because, I mean, we've beaten everyone else. We just have to beat Volkmar and that steam tank. I think I have us draw out our units eventually so we can just get armor-piercing stuff in there. He brings in the steam tank to come help out. I mean, there's Volkmar trying so hard. Holy crap. He's like, yes, I am Volkmar. Eat my kryptonite, bitches. I actually got a mod for him to give him his iconic white mustache. Such a tiny thing, but man, gotta have that stuff accurate in my view. Steam tank 189 on the kills. Volkmar's gone. I think he just flew off of that. That was pretty funny. And the steam tank will be gone in less than a minute. Just let that happen. Yeah, we had all of our armor piercing go after that, and then we'll go over our stats. But that was a very long battle. A lot of fighting all over the map, too. But we broke them. 1,300 remaining. We lost, what, roughly half of our army, close to it, if not that. Okay, so for me, 64 kills by my Beast Lord. He took a lot of damage, but he was able to stay in the game. If we look over here, my Blackhorn's Ravagers did a lot of damage, over 100 kills, and didn't take a lot of damage. My Bestigor Herd, 40 kills, 43 for my Man Rippers. Oh, sorry, 79 for my Man Rippers. My other Bestigor Herd, 43 kills. My Sons of Goros, when they got back there into that soft belly of their crossbows, man, we were able to feast. 205 kills. My Harpies were able to keep them busy, one group more so than the other. My Butchers of Kalkengard did pretty well. They are Minotaurs with shields, and they got a decent amount of kills. I just needed a large group to kind of crash through enemy ranks. And then over here, my Eye of Morslieb, a total of 134 kills. For Havoc, we're looking at no kills for Morker. I don't know if he actually did use his ability. There's a lot for him to micromanage, so I don't blame him if he didn't. Over here, we're looking at Ungor Spearman. And it's a lot of numbers. And wow, 82 kills. It's not too bad for such a cheap unit. And really, what helped out a lot was just having all these archers. It kept him away, it kept him at bay. He was able to focus a few things down. One group got 56 kills, probably that one group that went after the crossbowmen. Then over here, the Centaurs and the Harpies were able to just kind of rail on them from behind to keep their crossbows away. And then the Eye of Morslieb, 118. For the first Empire player, we're looking at 54 kills, 50 kills for the Light Wizard. Oh, he probably used a banishment, maybe. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know how else he would have gotten that many unless he just went after like really cheap archers or something. The Spearmen did not do a lot. The crossbows did not do a lot. The artillery, see, like these got their kills, but it doesn't really matter if the rest of your army can't seal the deal. We brought in so many numbers, it just did not matter. Okay, over here for Drewski, 129 kills for Volkmar the Grim, 13 for the Light Wizard. So Volkmar did his part. He tried very hard. He could have probably been used a little bit more aggressively to really crash through the lines. He probably could have even killed a lot of Havoc's archers or kept them away, though that would have left his line undefended. Maybe if he had like a Warrior Priest or an Empire Captain, he could have held that back. Actually, an Empire Captain with that little aura for charge resistance would have been great. And then Flagellants, I mean, they died quickly. He just did not have the... Oh, and Greatswords probably would have helped too. And Handgunners may have been better to take on my forces. Not Havoc's, but my forces would have been better. The Sunmaker was the only thing that was like really effective for him outside of Volkmar the Grim. But that is that battle. I hope that you did enjoy this battle. Do leave a like down below. And don't forget to join my Discord server down below. And if you do like my channel and would like to support it, do check out my Patreon as well. And as always, until then,